I'm rooting for everybody black. I am betting on black tonight.
Lovely. You look great.
Welcome to Code Black Facts, where we talk about all things black to include news and viral videos, mental health, self-love, self-care, self-development, black women issues, crime stories, and black history. If you are interested in any of these topics, please subscribe to my channel, like, share, and don't forget to comment below. Thank you.
Say it's a black thing, run deep in the roots. Blacker the berry, baby, the sweeter the juice.
Girlfriend found covered in blood. Local 10's Alex Finney live in Miami, where loved ones of the man who died are demanding answers. Alex.
And Louis, they are demanding just that. You know, this is a really disturbing story. Was this self-defense or was it not? That is what investigators are looking into at this time. But nonetheless, you said it there. You have family that is just grieving and they're just waiting for answers. New video from TMZ showing a bloody 25-year-old Courtney Tailor moments after the Instagram model's boyfriend, 27-year-old Christian Obumseli, was stabbed to death inside their Miami apartment. Friends have said the relationship was violent at the hands of one person, Courtney.
I've seen her hit him. I've never seen him hit her.
One neighbor sees it the other way.
Not tell if it was open-handed or close-handed, but he was swinging at her.
Officers say there was a struggle before Obumseli was stabbed in the shoulder. He died at the hospital.
My brother was so caring.
Friday, we heard from his family, who flew in from Houston, Texas.
We finally told our 93-year-old grandmother that her grandson, who was expected to come home to Texas to visit for his 28th birthday, will no longer or ever be returning home.
Investigators are still trying to figure out if Tailor acted in self-defense. Police have responded to disturbance calls at the couple's apartment before. Tailor's attorney did tell Local 10 in a statement that clearly none of this was intended and Courtney is struggling mentally with the aftermath of what occurred that evening. This is a tragedy for all involved, but it was not criminal conduct. Courtney was defending herself, and the investigation will reveal exactly that. And the victim's family did meet with the state attorney's office today as the investigation into all of this remains ongoing. For now, that's the very latest live in Miami. Alex Finney, Local 10 News.
Alrighty. So I'm pretty sure you guys have already heard about this story, but I wanted to come on here and give my views and opinions and also give a different perspective that is than what is already out, right? So right now, you have a lot of people online, particularly Black Twitter and on Instagram and even on YouTube, talking about whether or not Black women or Black American people, but more specifically Black women, whether we should lend our support to Christian Obumseli. All right. And so, you know, I want to be very clear. This video is not, I'm not making this video to influence anybody on what they should or should not do. Personally speaking, I am going to reserve my support, and I will, you know, keep the family and friends in prayer. And that's pretty much the extent of what I'm going to do. But again, this video is not to influence anybody. We are all grown. We are all adults. Do what you think you need to do in the best interest of you and the things that you believe in and your morals, your values, and, you know, what is best for you. Because that's, you know, I'm going to always do what's best for me. So without, you know, further ado, let's just get into the topic. I want to talk about divested Black men like Christian Obumseli. I'm just going to call him Christian. I can't keep pronouncing that last name. All right. So, you know, divested Black men like Christian and divested Black men that have the mindset of Christian, because there's a certain type of mindset that one has to have to be in certain white circles, to get certain white women, to be in, certain white classes, right? White people have a class system. All races actually have a class system, right? But when you're Black and you're trying to break into or get into a certain class system outside of your own race, okay, there's a certain mentality that comes with that. There's certain careers that come with that. There's certain amounts of money that come with that. And I'm going to break all of that down. So I want to break down the mindset of the divested Black male that thinks like Christian. I want to also talk about the exception, right? Because a lot of these Black men, like Christian, they think that they are the exception to the rule, right? They're Black, but they're not really Black. I want to talk about that. I want to also talk about the last thing about the gaslighting of Black women, okay? How, a lot of lies happen when you have, a lot of Black men like Toby, what do I call him? Christian, who have these sentiments when they're teens, and then they grow up as adult men and they still have the same sentiments. They're just not public about it. But in every facet of their behavior and, and how they, the certain crowds that they go around, so on and so forth, the way that they distance themselves, it's still there. It's just not public. All right. And so a lot of times they lie on Black women and say, oh, well, Black girls, when I was a teen, Black girls wasn't interested. So this is why I'm into only other groups of women. And so we're living in a day and time where, there's receipts. We pull up receipts, right? And I find it quite interesting that, when it comes to the FBI, when it comes to, these high profile criminal cases, murder cases, so on and so forth, when it comes to the police, the local police departments, law enforcement, when it comes to even jobs, careers, and things like that, they will pull your social media and see what you've been tweeting about. They will pull your social media, see what you've been posting about. So I find it quite interesting that, there's this thing out there like, oh, well, why are you guys tripping over some tweets that was, 10, 11 years ago? Why are you guys tripping? Well, do we tell the FBI why they tripping and why they're, taking tweets from people from years ago when they're using it in their criminal cases? Do we tell the local police department the same thing? Do we tell the jobs and the career, people that are doing the hiring, these big companies and stuff like that? Do we tell them the same thing? No, we don't. See, the problem that I have is that you want to pull that card when it's time to hold somebody accountable for what they have done in the past, and how, clearly, unfortunately, when you do stuff like that, it catches up to you. Because now you have a family that is asking for the community, the Black community's report. And they are actually expecting the support, regardless of what was said. And I have a problem with that. I have a major problem with that because, see, I'm not the type of person, I'm not the type of woman that is going to get beat all across the sides of my head, verbally, mentally, socially, whatever, every kind of which way. I'm not, and then forgive the person that did it. That's not me. That's not me. That is not me. Because if it was a non-Black man or woman tweeting all kinds of negative tweets about Black people, we would hold them to it. Just like people hold Donald Trump to the stuff that he's done and said in the past. It's no different. And, just because this involves a Black person that unfortunately has been taken out, right? We're just supposed to just all say, oh, well, based on this person being Black, that we're just going to throw everything out the window. It doesn't work like that. Because guess what? The local police, when they finna incriminate you, because I've actually seen this where you'll have people, and it's funny because the same people, they'll sit up and they'll laugh and joke. They will, so you'll have people, I've seen videos of people, doing crazy stuff they'll post a video of them doing something crazy. And then, 10 minutes later, the police is kicking down their door, taking them to jail because of what they posted. See, we will laugh at that. We will call those people stupid and dumb. We will, say all these different things about those people who are posting what they're doing. And we will say, oh, well, it is what it is in that case. But when it comes to this case, it's supposed to be a different story. No, it's not. We don't live in, this is not the 1940s. This is not the 1960s. We're in 2022, and what you post and what you put online can come back and be used against you in the court of law. And you best believe that the track record that's there. When we watched the interview, they were talking about how the police had been called out to, where they were, their penthouse or whatever, on several occasions. That's a paper trail, you guys. Because if the police was called out on several occasions and this woman never went to jail, that may be those calls may act in the, depending on what the police report would say, obviously, but they may act in her defense. That may be able to defend her, because if she was, if the police is being called always and nobody's going to jail, then that's not, one would think that that's not proving that this person is violent, right? That would be proving that the violence was adding up, like that it just boiled over, that, on the 15th time it boiled over and she did what she had to do. Because and that's literally what she's saying. She's saying it was self-defense. And see, when stuff like this happens, nobody thinks guys who like Christian, they don't think in the long run. They think that it can't happen to them. They think that they are the exception Negro. They think that they are, that they are not like those other Negroes. Like, I'm black, but I'm not really black. I mean, we've heard that, right? They think like that. And that all starts in the teens. That don't just start when somebody wakes up at 25. That don't just start when somebody wakes up at 19. That starts early. And a lot of times it's learned. It could be learned from your environment. It can be, and in your environment these days do include these social media streets. Okay. It is proven. There are studies after studies after studies, research after research that prove that social media does influence people. It influences behaviors. It influences all types of ways of life. So we're not going to sit here and act like, your environment is just your physical environment. Your environment can be social media. So that mindset, it can come from your parents, your family. It can come from like I said, your environment. It's all but it's learned, is what I'm saying. You don't just wake up one day and become that. That's something that's learned. And my thing too is that when a person is showing negative sentiments towards their own people, Black women, Black American people, and it's ignored by the family, and the only time it's actually supposed to, be about something is when something like this happens, when he gets offed by the very woman he put above his own group of people, particularly Black women. Oh, let's jump into some of these tweets. Let's jump into these tweets. Let's jump into these tweets. Because I want to show you guys, and I'm sure you've seen them, but just to be doing something. Let's just jump into these tweets here. Here's some. All right. So we have where it says, full of ignorant Black women, the way Black girls disgrace themselves on TV. Funny, because he's literally with a woman who disgraces herself like every time she gets on OnlyFans, but that's fine, whatever. Once again, I'm tired of these Black girls in my government class. Now, remind you guys, as you guys can see, these are very old tweets. These are tweets from 2012, right? And the thing about it is, this one down here, why is there always that one ghetto Black boy in the back talking throughout class? Get out, chill, LOL. Okay, so these tweets he tweeted when he was in his teens, right? Now again, he's tweeting these things, and we know that you have family members that follow you, you have friends that may follow you, like ain't nobody checking this. And it was left there. It was left there. Here's one that says, I want a white girl, #help. Here's one that says, LOL, I can teach a white girl a little about the African culture. Here's one that says, when the beautiful white girls wear yoga/tights. Here's one that says, white girls wearing white booty shorts everywhere. Where that's what I want. Everywhere. Now that's what I want. Excuse me. And then this one says, I love white people. Sheet. Me too, girl. Okay. So yeah. So again, you have this man out here tweeting all these things about Black women in particular and Black American people, and we just supposed to be like, okay, whatever. Because I guarantee you, if it was something else, the local police department, they don't care how long ago it would have been. They would still use this in a court of law. And that's what people don't realize. That's what people really don't realize. And again, you have people like Christian who think that, oh, well, that'll never happen to me. Oh, well, I'm different. And, speaking of, I did some research on him. He went to Texas Tech, which is in Lubbock, Texas, which I find quite interesting because Texas Tech is a very white school. It's mostly white, majority white. That's number one. Number two is the town that it's in. That's like Trump galore. That's Trump Nation out there. Why do I know this? Because I'm from Texas, born and raised. I live right here in Texas. I'm still here. Ain't went nowhere. I'm still here. I was born not far from Lubbock, so I know these things. So yeah, no one's gonna tell me that again. Oh well, he was young. He was just tweeting. No, he was young. He was tweeting that stuff. He believed that stuff, and you best believe in his adult years, he still believed it. You best believe that. All right. So let me show you guys another video because I want to create the I want to show you guys this mindset. And before I get into my points here, I want to show you guys this mindset. And I want to show you guys, how it starts very young, right? Especially now. Nowadays, it's almost like every time you go on TikTok, it's dudes on there, young dudes on there who are, just saying horrible things about Black women or Black girls, being disrespectful, all of that. Hold on. Wait. Oh. All right. So this is another, this young guy here that you guys see on the screen. This is a really, really well-known gamer. Okay. He's a Black gamer. And he has millions of, subscribers on both YouTube, on TikTok. He has a lot of subscribers. He makes a lot of money, you guys. And he started when he was young. And now he's a young adult, right? And they are trying to ban him because of his misogynistic, being misogynistic, basically, right? And so I want to show this video because I think this, and there's so many of them like that. You guys, look, this is not something that is just every other, no, this is a lot. Social media is full of them. Okay. And so, they're trying to ban him. And this is the thing, if he was doing this to just Black women, it would be like, oh, well, that's their thing, no big deal. But because he's on here, and we know in the gaming industry is mostly white, right? Mostly white, mostly male. And also, and when I say gaming industry, I mean gaming industry on his level, right? He's got sponsorships, he gets paid. I mean, he has millions of subscribers, so on and so forth. The gaming industry is overwhelmingly white male, right? But when there are some white women on there. So they're banning him because this is what he does, you guys. And it's funny because these are the type of dudes, these are the type of divested dudes who divest and try to get as far away from the black community, and they have these crazy sentiments when they're young teens, and then when they get older, it's like, oh well, you know, black girls when I was a teenager, they didn't want to talk to me because you know they wanted the hood dude or they wanted the thug dude, and it's like no, that may be the case in some. But no, they didn't want you because of this. And I'm going to show you guys. They didn't want you because you was a weirdo. Because you sitting up here just going crazy over, like, let me show you the video so you guys can understand.
Fuck, man, yo, dog, man. Come on, bro. Man, you gotta hit those shots, man. Shut your stupid ass up, nigga. Who's you talking to, bro? Shut your nerd ass up, bro. I know how to play this game. Shut up, monkey. Shut up. Shut your bitch ass up. All right? You're at the phone. All right? Calm down. Damn, bro. Shut up, bro. I know how to play this game. I'm not a noob, all right? God damn. You don't know how to play the fucking game. What? What, bitch? Bitch? Is a bitch talking to me? Is a female talking to me? Am I, no. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? All right, time out. Is a female talking to me right now? Is a fucking female talking to me? Get off the fucking game and do your husband dishes, bitch. Shut up. Fuck is wrong with y'all? Stop talking to me like that, nigga. Fuck is wrong with y'all, dog? I'm not one of these little lame ass Valorant nerds, nigga. Fuck wrong with y'all? Now fucking stop. Slide down mid. Fucking nerds on my fucking team. I'm like, bitch, like, who the fuck is you talking to, bitch? Fuck is wrong with you? Go do your right here. Last player standing. Fuck out of here. Ass. Y'all are pure ass. Y'all are ass. Y'all are ass.
Okay. So yeah. Now tell me what man is going to be okay with his teen daughter dating what you just saw? What man? What parent? What mother would be okay with that? Nobody. So what will happen, and has already happened, okay? Because he likes the non-black women, okay? I actually saw a video of him, and it's funny because my nephew showed me a video of this guy one time. Now, I didn't see this particular one, but he showed me a video of him, you know, into the game like you just saw him, and then like he just started going crazy and screaming and throwing stuff and pulling his TV off the thing and just going crazy. And my nephew just thought that was funny. And I'm like, there's nothing funny about that, you know? And that was basically my introduction to this guy, but I didn't think anything of it, right? And so this video right here goes viral. And of course, it caused a lot of people in the gaming industry are trying to ban him. They're trying to get him up out of there. They're trying to take down all his platforms because he's just like that. He's just like that. And that's not even one of the worst videos. That's not even one of the worst videos that I just showed you. But and like I said, he started in his teens. I think he might be like 19 now or something like that, 20 maybe. But yeah, he started in his teens. And it's these right here, the one like the Christian that got offed by the woman he put above his own. And you know, another thing that I was looking at, you guys, was during the news video where his family members came forward and it was a woman, and I was looking, I'm like, that woman is gorgeous. She's beautiful black woman. I mean, you know, smooth skin. She didn't even look like she had on makeup. And you mean to tell me this man got women in his family like that, and he still don't find any value or attraction or anything like that to women who look like him? I understand, and I'm not gonna say I don't understand. I understand it because I'm here to break down the mindset of it all and how this does start very young. But it's just like, really? So yeah, so the gaming dude, they're trying to get him up out of there, you guys, and we see why. And what is so unfortunate is that, again, these same dudes, they'll be like, oh, you know, black girls didn't give me the time of day, but yet they looking and acting like that. They have those sentiments. They're come off like that. Just weirdos, straight up weirdos. And it's like, no, dude, black girls wasn't talking to you because you was a freaking weirdo. Do you have, a portion of people who, they couldn't get the girls that they really wanted? Let's be honest here. They wasn't going after the nerdy girls that were just like them. They were going after the popular chicks. See, they wasn't trying to stay in their lane. They was trying to move a few lanes over. And that created that hate. Right? So I just wanted to show you guys that because I thought that was very, very interesting. And it fit exactly what I wanted to talk about. So the divested black man's mindset, the ones that are like Christian, okay? So they have to, when they divest, they must, okay, this is part of the mindset. They must, distance themselves as far away from black society, black women, as much as they can. And this a lot of times has a lot to do with the class, right? So if you are trying to get in, the white community, the echelon of the white community, you do have to have a certain mindset. You may even have to make a certain amount of money. You have to be in a certain career path or career field. And all of that requires that you have a certain type of mindset. You cannot, you have to divest. You have to, deny a whole bunch of your blackness, if not all of your blackness. That's a must. I'm not talking about the low level, because white people, they have a class system, just like every other race of people have a class system. Black people, we got a class system. Everybody has a class system. So if you are dating a OnlyFans model who has millions of subscribers, who's making a lot of money, you best believe, okay, she's in a certain class. She has a certain amount of access to certain people. And you best believe if she's walking around with this man out in public, claiming this man as her man, he has a certain type of mindset. He can't, it's 100%, I'm 100% right on this, okay? So in order for them to be in close proximity to, non-black people that are of a certain class, they have to distance themselves from black people. They got to deny a lot of their blackness. They also have to, many times they think that they are the exception. This is number 2. They think that they are the exception. They are the exception Negro. I am the exception because I'm not like those Negroes over there. I'm different. I like to go skydiving. So that's what makes me different. I like, 18 dogs in my house. So that's what makes me different. Like I find that a lot of times their interests are in things that they make sure that they put themselves into situations and places where they're the only black person. I noticed that. Like they rave in being the only black person, right? Oh, I'm the only black person that live in this area. I'm the only black person that's in this group of people. I'm the only black person that's in my group of friends. Like they rave in that. In my career path, I'm the only black person that does this. They rave and they relish in that. They love it. And I noticed that they carry certain interests too, and they go into certain jobs, careers, and money. They go into certain jobs and career paths for this very reason as well. I noticed that a lot of their interests are interests that put them as the minority within the group, right? So I'll give you a perfect example. I dated a guy who was in the car. He loved like foreign cars that are like very expensive sport cars, cars that were like $500,000 or $1 million, like very into cars. And we would go to a lot of car club stuff and car shows and stuff like that. And he loved to talk cars and stuff like that. And his love for cars came from his father when he was a little boy. So he just kind of grew up in that element. But I noticed that when I would be around other groups, we were always the only black people, always. We would go to like the BMW car show things, and we would just do different things. And we were always the only black people, always. We were two or few Okay. But I noticed that when I would meet other people, it was like they, it was a type of mindset that they had. I'm telling you guys that it was like, they just like being the only. They like that. They like sticking out because of that, because it made them feel like they were the exception. See, I'm a Black person that really, really know about these cars. Like, other Black people, they just buy them, but they don't know about them. They don't, they don't know the insides and outsides. Like they relished in that stuff. I've seen it with my own eyes, you guys. I've seen it. And another thing that would make them feel like they were the exception is the way that they speak, or the way that they act or carry themselves. I noticed, a lot of that as well. And the last thing I want to mention is, like I said, and I've mentioned this before, the lies. It starts when they're young, and then when they become young adults into older adults, they will sit up and tell lies about how they was not picked when they were in their teens by Black women and Black girls. And so because of that, they just start only dating non-Black women. And a lot of times it's a lie. A lot of times they don't tell you that they were the weirdos. They were the dudes like the gaming dude we just seen. They were, the dude that probably always smelled like pee or wasn't clean, or, whatever. Are there some people that, are truly like, nerdy and kind of keep to themselves and stuff like that did not get any play? Yes, there are. But this is the thing. We live in a day and time where a lot of this stuff can be proven. A lot of people can come up with receipts. These dudes that we see that's claiming this, that's 40, 50 years old, a lot of them is 40, 50 years old. YouTube, social media didn't exist back then when they were teens. It didn't exist. So people are going off of their words. And and to be honest with you guys, I have come to tell you that I have come to realize that it's lies. Lies. It's all cap. It's all cap. It's lies. And I used to believe it, but then I kind of went back, in my mind when I was a teen, and I'm like, wait a minute. The dudes that wasn't getting any play when I was a teenager were the dudes that was like the gaming dude, just a weirdo, just straight up weirdo. Like, really didn't have any social skills, didn't know how to approach people, just dudes that were like really into like gaming like that. And it was just had funny smells or something like that. It wasn't like, what we hear nowadays. It wasn't. Now, were there some that was like that? Yes, it was some, but not on the level of what we're hearing these days, where almost every dude that I see on social media is claiming that when they were young, that the girls was not choosing them. And that's why they think Black girls and Black women are X, Y, and Z. They're lying. It's lies. Because remember, just like there were nerdy Black boys, there were nerdy Black girls. And ask them, were they checking for the nerdy Black girls? They were not. They were not. Ask the nerdy Black girls what did they go through in school. They will tell you the same thing. But see, they didn't want them. They wanted the popular chicks, the chicks that were out of their league, the chicks that they didn't even know how to confront. They didn't even know how to, talk to. The chicks that, you know what I'm saying? They didn't have that. And then they get mad at the dudes that were able to pull them, the dudes that played the sports, the dudes that dress nice, the dudes that knew how to have a conversation. They sitting up mad at them. And instead of being mad at them and trying to, figure out what their swag was, they sitting up and just taking all of their frustration out on the young girls. And it follows them into adulthood. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video, but I just want to say this, you guys. Again, support whoever you want to support. I'm choosing to reserve my support. I will say a small, short little prayer for the family and friends while I'm drinking my wine, eating my grapes and cheese, and watching something funny on TV. Okay, that's the extent of my support. Yeah, I'm not. No. But again, for you, the video is not to influence you to do nothing. You do what you feel you need to do, what you think is in your best interest, what you think is in the best interest of your group that you represent, and just let that be that. And on that note, I'm actually out. And I hope you guys decide to like this video. Of course, I want you to subscribe. If you are a new subscriber, welcome. And leave a comment. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts? And until next time, peace.